It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for the Walking Dead comic book series. This is going to be my review for issue 178, which is part 4 of 6 of the New World Order story arc. So before I actually get into this, I was at the dentist this morning, so if I start mumbling or talking weird, that's because half of my face is numb at this point. Also, one more thing, stay tuned for my review for The Walking Dead Season 8 for the last episode, episode 14, which was called Still Gonna Mean Something. So let's get into this. I finally got a chance to go to the comic shop and pick up the comics. I not only picked up the latest issue, I also was able to find the variant for that issue, which has a picture of Andrea. It's a pretty cool one. And also the other two variants for the previous two issues. One is with Michonne and the other is with the Governor. Now, we did kind of talk about these variant covers, so we did know it was coming, but I finally got a chance to pick it up and add it to my collection. Very cool. I'm looking forward to the Rick one. I think that would be the last one, but there's the Carl one and then the Rick one, so I think there's two more left. I am looking forward to getting those as well and adding it to my collection. So let's actually start the review. So we pick up basically exactly where we left off in the last issue, where we had Mercer talking to the other guy at the Commonwealth, and they were basically talking about taking over the place or something along those lines. So that was the cliffhanger that we got, and we picked up exactly from there. So in the last one, we had Siddiq running into them as they were talking about that, and the issue kind of ended, and now we pick up from there where Mercer and the other guy, whose name is Georgie, start talking to Siddiq, questioning him and everything, and he says he was just trying to find a bathroom, trying to play dumb and everything. They're smarter than that. They know he is just bullshitting, but at the same time, they do let him go. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Siddiq, because what they do is scare him a little bit, but they end up letting him go anyway. But we do get a reveal that Mercer runs the military at the Commonwealth, so he has a pretty high ranking in terms of where he stands in the society that they've built. So very excited to see what happens with them, whether it was really locker room talk like they were saying, or whether they were actually planning something. They let Siddiq go, so I'm sure they're going to keep their eyes on Siddiq to make sure that he doesn't say anything. Even they said that they'll be seeing Siddiq, so I'm sure that they're going to come back into play. But I don't really trust them. I don't think that it was locker room talk. I really think that they have something planned. But I love the end where Siddiq starts walking the other way and they're like, the bathroom is the other way. And he just walks the other way. That was pretty funny. But then that's basically everything we got for that situation. Then we get into this conversation between Dante and Maggie. Dante is kind of hitting on Maggie and stuff, and they're being like really goofy and everything. But right before they're able to kiss or do anything, Sophia shows up and she is pissed. I mean, she is steaming. She curses Maggie out, calls her a whore, which is interesting, but then she runs off. Maggie ends up going and finding her, and they have this long conversation about, you know, whether Maggie really loved Glenn or not and stuff like that, saying that this makes me happy. I've been alone for a long time, but this makes me happy. Doesn't mean I don't love Glenn. I still love Glenn, but it's about moving on, moving forward. I really like that conversation and the way Maggie kind of put everything forward in front of Sophia and talked to her. Obviously, you know, she is still a child, so I do love that Maggie kind of brought that forward as well and said that, you know, it's really none of your business, but I am telling you this because I love you, because you are my child. Even though you're not my biological child, you're still my child. And that's basically the end of that. They end up hugging. We go back to Commonwealth. We have Michonne talking to Elodie, her daughter, about that place and everything. And they begin talking about how Elodie hated Michonne for leaving, for abandoning them and everything. And Michonne understands. She's like, I understand what you mean, what you're saying, and I will let you have your time. I will come back whenever you need me. I'm not letting you go again. I lost you once. I'm not going to do it again. And then there's this one shot, one panel of Michonne opening her arms and everything to hug her. And then we see them hugging at the end. But I really loved that conversation. She says, I'm still your mother and everything. That was pretty cool to see. Very emotional, very cool to see. And it helps us not only bond with this new character Elodie based on our connection to Michonne, but also we're seeing Michonne is happy, so we're happy about it as the audience, as the viewers, as the readers. So very cool what they did with them and everything. It's going to be interesting to see where we go going forward, because we do see something happening at the end of the issue, which I'll get to. But then going from there, we have a conversation back at the hilltop again between Carl and Sophia. They're again talking about Maggie and Dante. There's that one piece that's very funny. We have Sophia saying, "I guess you're way more mature than I am." And then I love Carl's response, "That's never been up for debate." Yeah, but just one thing I want to mention, I don't know how I feel about this. Carl is dead in the show. The more I see Carl in the comics, the more I see the potential that's lost by killing Carl in the show. But I'm not going to talk about the TV show here. Loved the ending of the conversation between Carl and Sophia. Then we kind of jump back to Commonwealth again, so it's like back and forth between Hilltop and Commonwealth. But we have Michonne coming back saying, "We have an understanding. As long as you trust us, we trust you," to the Commonwealth, to the governor there. And everything seems to be moving forward smoothly. The governor says, "We'll pack up in a few days and go to Alexandria with you guys." So not sure whether that's a good sign or a bad sign. They could have something planned. I still don't trust them. But it almost seems too smooth, too easy with this group, which does scare me a little bit in terms of what's going to come after. I think they have something planned, and I think if they do end up coming back to Alexandria, and if they do have a plan with the amount of people that they have, it's going to be game over for Alexandria. They could come back at any moment. They don't want to go to war with these people. They have too many people there, too many innocent people there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But then we have this guy, Sebastian, the governor's son, coming in. His first line is pretty cool. When he enters, he says, "New people, right? I love new people." And that kind of reminded me of the promo of Fear the Walking Dead, because we have Althea, the new character in Fear the Walking Dead for Season 4, saying, "New people. I like new people." That reminded me a lot of that. Maybe they did it on purpose. Maybe when they were doing that scene in Fear, Kirkman was writing this issue or thinking about this issue and, made those two play out the same way or something. But very cool. But Sebastian ends up flirting with Yumiko a little bit. He's like flirting with Yumiko. Yumiko is not friendly and everything, and he's pissed off. But then we have Magna coming in and trying to protect Yumiko, but Sebastian just pushes her off and everything. And then we have this altercation. We have Princess coming in with her spear and everything, and she is basically saying, "Don't make me put the goggles down." And I'm like, what is she gonna do? But then she's like, too late. She puts down the goggles, and then bam, 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 hits all of the guards. Again, she seems to be another cool character, another badass character. Looking forward to getting to know her more and getting her backstory and everything. But she puts everybody down, and I mean everyone. And, reminds me of Morgan, because she's like bam, 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 and puts everyone down. So that was cool to see. But then Mercer moving in, stopping Princess from doing anything else. Sebastian orders Mercer to arrest everyone, and that's where Elodie jumps in, and Sebastian smacks her in the face, and that pisses Michonne off. Michonne steps forward with her katana, and she says, "It's important we know our place." So it seems like there's going to be this huge altercation next time between them. Not exactly sure whether Mercer is going to defend Sebastian at this point or not, but very excited to see what happens. There definitely seems to be this conflict brewing. We don't know what the governor has planned when she goes to Alexandria, but it seems like if this is the way this community is run, in terms of everyone can do whatever and no one can stop them, that seems to be a problem. We're going to see a huge conflict if it gets to that point. And I definitely think we're going to see a big conflict if it gets to a point where Michonne says, "I want my daughter with me, we want to be out of here," but then they say, no, she has to stay, she's a resident of this place. And that could obviously cause a lot of problems. So, very interested to see where the story goes. This was a great issue. We saw some crazy things with these new characters that are introduced, with the Commonwealth. we are beginning to see more layers of the Commonwealth being revealed. So very excited to see what happens with them. But this was a great issue, very cool. Again, very excited for next issue to see what happens. I thought we were going to have this big conflict in this one, but they didn't do that, and then they pushed it to the next one. But very excited for the next issue. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for future uploads. Like the Facebook page of this channel to join our Walking Dead community. Join us live every Friday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time for a Q&A session. See you all there.